What's going on, everybody? It's Skip, and today I'm going to teach you a little card game called Golf. This is a tableau building game for 2 or more players. There are quite a few different ways to play and different rule sets you can follow, so I'm going to hone in on one specifically, but I'm also going to show you a few variations towards the end of the video. All right, let's dive in. In order to play golf, all you need is a standard 52 card deck, and you can add more decks as needed. To set up the game, deal 6 cards to each player. They are arranged in a 2x3 grid. Place the rest of the cards face down to form the stock and turn 1 card over to begin the discard pile. Each player then chooses 2 cards to flip over in their layout. Before we begin, you need to understand what the cards are worth, so let's check that out. Cards will have an individual value. Aces are 1. Number cards are worth the value of the number on the card. Jacks and queens are both worth 10. And in this game, 2s are -2 from your score, and kings are worth 0. If you like, you can add jokers to the deck. This would make 2s worth +2 points, and the jokers would be the special cards that deduct points from your score. They would be worth -2 each. And now that you understand the value of the cards, here's how you'll keep score. At the end of the round, you're going to add up the value of the cards in each column, and then you will combine those 3 columns for your total score. There are a couple ways to reduce your score. So right here, this column would be worth 11 points, 1 for the ace and 10 for the 10. However, if at the end of the round you have 2 cards of the same rank in that column, they would cancel each other out, and this column would be worth 0 points. Having a 2 in the column allows you to reduce that value by 2, so 10 minus 2 would be 8. And having 2 2s would make that column worth -4. Keeping the scoring system in mind, gameplay is pretty simple. We'll start here with the player at the bottom of the screen. On a player's turn, they may draw the card from the top of the stock or take the top card from the discard pile. Whatever they choose to draw, they then choose to keep or discard. If they want to keep it, they will replace one of the cards in their layout. If they choose to replace a card, that card is turned face up and placed in the discard pile. If they do not want to keep the card, they can just discard it. That ends their turn and play passes. The next player then takes their turn and they draw 7. If a player wants, they can replace a card that is face up. That card is then placed in the discard pile, and that ends their turn. And play continues like that until one player has turned up all the cards in their grid. So here's player 1's turn. They're going to go ahead and draw, and they got a 2. So they will go ahead and replace that final card. Their grid is complete, and the round immediately ends. When this occurs, all other players flip up any remaining cards. They also get one more chance to improve their hand. So here it is, the player on the right side of the screen's turn. They're going to go ahead and draw from the draw pile. They got an 8. This will not improve their layout at all, so they discard it. Player at the bottom of the screen does the same. The 6 does improve their layout, so they're going to go ahead and replace one of their queens. All right, let's begin with our player here on the left. So to figure out your total score for the round, you add up each column and then combine those 3 totals. So we have a king, which is worth nothing, and a 2. So we have -2, 0, and 0. So this player's score for the round is -2. Over here, we have 0 for the aces. We have 3 minus 2, that's 1. And then we have 4 minus 2 is 2. So they get +3 for the round. And our player here at the bottom of the screen has 1 point in this column, 4 points in this column, and 14 points in this column. So 14 plus 4 is 18, plus 1 is 19. After the score for the round has been tallied up, collect the cards, and the deal passes left. Continue playing 9 rounds. The player with the lowest score at the end of the final round wins. If you would like, you can play 9-card golf. Now, I definitely suggest having 2 decks or more for this, more than 2 if you're playing with more than 4 players. The only difference here is that you are going to add 3 cards instead of 2. And the way to cancel them out is to have 3 of a kind instead of just 2 of a kind. The other big difference is that in this game, 2s are going to be worth positive 2 points. And the special card is the 5, which is worth negative 5. Again, if you want to play with jokers, you can make the jokers worth negative 5 and keep this card as a positive point card. One other fun house rule that you can play with 6 or 9 card golf is that if you replace a face down card and discover that it is the exact same rank of what you just replaced it with, you get to keep it and replace another card with it. Again, if that was the same card, you'd get to keep it and keep going. However, since it is different, you must discard it, and that ends your turn. And that's how to play golf. As you can see, it's a pretty simple game. It's great at different player counts, easy to teach, but also a lot of fun, especially if you like games that lean more towards the luck end of the spectrum. There are a lot of different ways you can play this with special rules that you can throw in, more jokers, more bonus cards, allow for more card flipping in the tableau under certain circumstances. And overall, I just think this game is a lot of fun. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you'd like to support the channel, the best thing you can do is hit the thumbs up, subscribe, leave a comment. All of those things help tremendously. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, keep on playing.